Welcome back, everybody, to Zlatan's Fight Picks. Today we will be going over the fight card and picks for UFC 314 Volkanovski versus Lopes. As usual, we will start from the prelims, first fight, to the main event. And just as a recap, this is last week was the third consecutive losing week for me. And I thought it could never happen, but here we are. Like, this is the first time that's ever happened. Lost weeks, but I've never lost 2 weeks in a row, and I never thought it could happen in 3 weeks, but it did. So, sorry, my apologies. But let's turn this around. Things happen in three, so we got it done. So hopefully we never do this again. So let's start. We will start with the first fight, Nora Cornell versus Haley Cowan. Pick will be Nora Cornell. I think she's got too much firepower on the feet. She's got good takedown defense. She will be the favorite as well. Treson Gore versus Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio, not a bad fighter. He's going to get exposed at some point, and I think Treson Gore is the kind of guy that just might do it. He's well-rounded. He's good on the ground. Good subs. He's got decent hands. I think he's really turned himself around. I think Marco Tulio at minus 380 is definitely not the play here. Treson Gore will be the pick as the underdog shot. Moving on, Sumadarji versus Mitch Raposo. Mitch Raposo is going to be a little shorter. Sumadarji is generally a pretty tall, lanky guy, but the pick's going to be Mitch Raposo. I think Sumadarji is decent, but I think they're really underestimating Raposo. I think he did pretty good in the fights previous against some really decent competition. So going off of that and seeing how young he is, I think he's going to be coming in and improving every single time he gets into the ring. He's good on the ground. He's a decent wrestler, good striker. He is a little on the shorter side, and Sumadarji is a pretty decent striker. But I just have this feeling Raposo is going to be the up-and-coming guy, and his performance against Lima was really good, and we've all seen how good Lima is. Raposo is going to be the underdog pick for this fight. Moving on, Cedric Dumas versus Michal Olejniczak. Pick will be Olejniczak. Dumas, very lackluster, very low level, well-rounded, nothing great anywhere. Olejniczak, come forward, boxing style, tough as nails. He's going to be able to walk through Dumas and possibly get a KO. He is the favorite. So Michal Olejniczak will be the pick. Moving on to the prelims. Darren Elkins versus Julia Arosa. I went back and forth on this one. This is basically the irresistible force against the immovable object. Arosa's got the best guillotine in the game, and Elkins has survived every single guillotine attempt. So who do you think is going to win? I think on the feet, Elkins is tough. He's durable. He's got a good gas tank. I think Arosa's got the length. He's a better striker. Gas tank's questionable. Or Elkins going to continue to take him down. If this goes 3 rounds, it's going to be a sweat. But the thing is Elkins puts himself in the guillotine position, and Arosa is really good against the guillotine. With the guillotine, he submitted Christian Rodriguez, which I did not think was possible. So the pick is going to be Arosa at minus 425. He's probably not a good bet. Elkins would be probably a pretty good dog shot, but as far as a pure pick, Arosa is going to be the pick. He's 5 years younger, but they're both getting up there. But Arosa is going to be the younger man. Moving on, Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is going to be the pick. I gotta admit, he's growing on me. He looks really good, and he looked really good in the last fight. Pretty dominating. Finds a way to win. Good on the ground. He's getting to be a decent striker. I think he's going to be too long, too young, and too good on the ground and on the feet for Miller. And I think even though Miller has pulled rabbits out of the hat, I think at 41, I'm not saying he's going to get blown out. I think Hooper's going to win this. Not even worth the bet at minus 950 and Miller at plus 550. I mean, granted, Miller could be the side to bet. I just don't see Miller winning. So Chase Hooper's going to be the pick. Probably no bet. Moving on. Yan Jianyan versus Verna Jandiroba. I went back and forth on this one so much. Jandiroba is going to be the pick in the end. But I went back and forth and back and forth. This is going to be a really close fight. Split decision type fight. Jandiroba is going to have to take it to the ground. I think she can do it. Probably at least 2 of the rounds where she's going to be able to win those rounds. And Yan probably going to survive. And when she's on the feet, she's going to land the better strikes because she's a really good striker. But Jandiroba has improved her takedowns and her striking as well. Yan has got good takedown defense. She's good on the ground, but I think Jandiroba is just going to be too much for her, and she's just going to basically hold her down enough to win a decision. So Jandiroba is going to be the pick. Super low confidence. This is a coin flip. I mean, having a dog shot on Jianyan would be acceptable, but as a pure pick, Jandiroba is going to be the pick. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I'm not a fan of Sean Woodson. I don't know why. It's not a big fan. maybe it's a bias, so maybe don't follow this pick. But I'm gonna pick Ige. But Ige, he's fought the best guys, and Sean Woodson has done pretty decent. But he's only fought the mid-level guys, and I think he went a split decision with Jourdain. Mind you, he was controlling him from distance. But Ige, you know what? He's a smart fighter, very cerebral, really tough, good on the ground, good on the feet. He's a little too short. That's the problem. And you got the guy who's a little too short, Ige, who's normally shorter than everybody. And you got Woodson, who's way tall. But Ige's got to be the pick. He's got way too much experience. He's only 33 years old. And we don't know where Woodson's at. I think he might have peaked as far as his ability, even though he's made huge improvements. I think when you reach these top 10 guys, and I think Ige might be in the top 10, I think he's going to have a problem with him. And going for the underdog Ige on this one. Moving on to the main event. Main card. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. Nikita Krylov, decent favorite, not super big, versus Dominic Reyes. About the same size, same reach, same age. And Nikita Krylov's too tough, too good on the ground, too good on the feet, decent on the feet, and he can take a way better punch than Reyes. Reyes got to go for the KO, and even then, I don't know if he can knock out Krylov, but I can definitely see Krylov hurting Reyes. And Nikita Krylov is going to be the pick. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. Yair, you know what? I do not know enough about Pitbull to be an expert on Pitbull. But at 37 years old, coming into the UFC, he's going to give up a 5-inch reach advantage, a 6-inch reach advantage, 5-inch height advantage against a really seasoned striker like Rodriguez. I just got to go with Rodriguez because I know Rodriguez and I think he's pretty decent. Don't really know Pitbull. He's won some, he's lost some. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining fight. Going to go down to a decision. I don't think they're getting knocked out. I think they're tough. Both of them are really tough. So Rodriguez is going to be the pick on this one. But people are taking a shot at Pitbull at an underdog price. I just don't know if at 37 years old he's there. He's still there. I don't know. I don't know. So maybe don't follow me on this one and go with your gut. But as a pure pick, I'll pick Rodriguez. Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva. Bryce Mitchell is a good wrestler, but man, John Silva just totally been impressive. Good striking, good on the ground. He's always gives up a little bit of height. But the guy is tough as nails, and he's just so well-rounded. I don't know. He just walks in there, and he just manhandles everybody. It's not even close. And I think he's a big favorite for a reason. Silva's going to be the pick. Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Chandler's always given up a little bit of height. He's 38 years old. I mean, it's going to be questionable if he's going to be able to keep doing these wars. Paddy Pimblett at 30 years old, he's a tank. The guy can take a shot. The guy can take a lot of punishment. That worries me, is Pimblett being able to absorb so much punishment and Chandler not being able to knock him out. But as far as a pure striker, I think Chandler's going to be the better striker. It's just that he doesn't always use his technique and he just goes in there and starts brawling. That's what worries me. If Chandler was a little more calculative and going for, takedowns and, winning the points and not just sitting there and throwing haymakers, I would say confidently pick Chandler. But Paddy Pimblett is tough. He can absorb a lot of punishment. I don't think he's that great. I mean, he's good. I don't think he's great. So I'm still going to go with Chandler. He's fought the way better competition. So, yeah, at 38, that's the big question mark. But yeah, as a pure pick, Chandler. Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Volkanovski's going to give up, 5-inch height advantage. The reach is only by one inch. He's got really long Macedonian arms. 36 years old. And the question is, when he got knocked out, was that the start of his chin not being as good at 36 years old? Because as far as I think skills, Lopez is good, but Volkanovski's the best. And even in the fight he lost against, who he was against, that guy looks like a camel. That camel looking ex-champ who stepped on, what was his name again? Topuria, yeah. So, I mean, that fight, Volkanovski was winning that fight. Up to the point of the knockout, he was winning the fight on points. As far as it's not, you could say like Topuria was definitely the stronger fighter in there, but as far as points go and strikes, and Volkanovski was winning. So technique-wise, he was winning the fight. I think it's going to be the same here again. I think Lopez is good. I'm going to pick Volkanovski. I haven't written them off yet. I am a huge fan. Maybe don't follow me on this one, but Volkanovski is going to be the pick. He has gone from a decent-sized favorite to a very low favorite. What's he at now? Let's see. Well, that's really weird. I usually have the odds right here. No, let's go back here. Minus 150. That's really weird because I thought it was closer than that. Yeah, it's still decent sized favorite. I mean, the bet could be Lopez just because he is the underdog, but I think it's a little more closer than that for some reason. I'm on ESPN, and it just looks like he is a decent sized favorite still. But ex-champ, fought everybody. I gotta go with him. If his chin's still there, he's gonna win this fight by a decision. So Volk is gonna be the pick. All right, everybody. Once again, not financial advice. Do your own research. Couple that with what I've shared with you guys. Make the best decision possible. Hopefully, we turn this around this week and we go on a winning streak. Otherwise, good luck on your bets. Hit like if you like the content. Subscribe if you want to get notified. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the picks and what you agree and what you disagree with. Otherwise, good luck, everybody. We'll see you next week.